Hey guys, and welcome back to another one of my tutorial videos on using YouTube as well as creating videos with different software. And as you can see, our upload was complete. We finished it off. And this is your video manager. This is where you're going to be messing with most of your videos, unless you're going to be doing editing, which we'll get into on a later date, which will be down here in your little create button. But for us, we're going to go into the video that we just uploaded. It's right here, and we're going to go down into the info and settings. Now, there are other little things that we can mess with, and that's what we're going to be going over in this episode. You can also delete it if you have to or need to for any reasons, but we'll go into info and settings. It's going to load us into a screen that you're going to get very familiar with as time goes on. This is something I see every day, every time I upload a video. Now I can come in here, I can set different thumbnails as my main page or my main screen right here, or I can do a custom one. This is I don't know what to say on this one, to be honest, guys. Pretty much everybody out there agrees that custom thumbnails do better for your channel than regular ones like this. I can't agree, or I can't disagree more with them on that, to be honest, guys. I absolutely hate and despise custom thumbnails when I'm watching YouTube. When I'm going and searching for something, I want to see what the video actually looks like, and not a custom thumbnail that is a generated picture, maybe not even from the footage of the game, with words on it that say craft the world or Minecraft, digging today in the depths of the Nether, blah blah blah, whatever it may be, part 47, big letters all over the place, numbers, things of that sort, to grab people's attention and get them to click on it like it's a professional channel, which it does kind of look like it is, but in the sense that people who grow up in the 80s playing video games know that pictures that look too good to be true on video game covers and boxes of video games almost always were. And I am still in that mindset, because when I watch videos on YouTube, when it first came out, and they've gotten a little bit better at tracking these people down, but when it first came out, they had pictures on here of things that were interesting. Space aliens and spaceships blowing up the background, and transformers, transforming into things, and you click on it, and it have absolutely nothing to do with the picture that it implied that it did, or it picked the one picture in it that it didn't get to talking about until the last 30 seconds of the video, and you could tell the only reason they threw it into the video was to say that it was part of the video and I like the screenshot and it's going to get me more views because of it. And so that was very misleading, very, they did it on purpose, they were being deceitful on purpose, and they knew exactly what they were doing to get you in there. And so now, unless it shows me a picture of the game itself, I almost always pass it by. I will never watch those, the ones that look professional to most people. So it's some people will say do it, and I would say most big YouTubers do create their own custom thumbnails, and YouTube itself will suggest to you over and over and over again, until you're sick and tired of hearing them say it, that you need to have custom thumbnails. But I will not listen to them on that one because I feel so strongly against it. But most people do not. Again, over here on the side, you'll have some little custom information about your thing, the channel, the upload time, the duration of the video, the raw file name. Again, it keeps that information there, so make sure you name that what you're supposed to. How many views it's gotten, how many likes, dislike, comments it's gotten, and the URL for the video. So if you want to link that to somebody, if you want to send them this little text right here and say, hey, this is where you can find my channel, or this is where you can find the video that you were looking for, to help you out with that. Or if you go to the message boards on, say, a video game site and be like, I just uploaded a new video, here it is, this is the link that you're going to want to use right here. Now down here on the bottom, this is stuff we have already talked about, going into the monetization and the advanced tab. Of course, under the monetization, we clicked it last time. I clicked it off just so I could show you guys again. Here it is. Now we do have an extra little bit of options here. Now you can add commercial, and you can add ad breaks. So I have before the video, I have it check mark. This will put a commercial before the video starts. And then I will click the button at the end, say after a video. So the video will start right here and go all the way through. At 25 seconds in, you see another little line. That is the advertisement for the overlay, the one little that pops up at the middle of the screen that's somewhat invisible or covered in a black background, and will say blah 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 about some commercial. That's where that one will pop up, and it will disappear shortly after. Then I can come in here and say insert ad breaks in bulk. And so I can say I want to have it, every 2 minutes and 30 seconds or whatever. and I can do that. Or I can set some myself. I can come in here and say, oh, this is where I want one, right here. Or I want an ad break at every 5 minutes. So if we get it up there to exactly 5 minutes and 2 seconds, you'll see that every 5 minutes and 2 seconds I can add an ad break in there and stuff like that. So you can come in here and mess with it all you want. Insert ad right there. You can preview the ad. I can come in here and insert another one, or I can come in here and get rid of them if I decide later on that I don't necessarily want that. So you're more than welcome to mess around with this stuff as much as you want. Advanced settings, pretty much all the same settings that you had before. Nothing new was changed in there at all. But then if you come up here to the top, you'll see tabs that you didn't have before. Enhancements, audios, annotations, cards, subtitles, and closed captions. So we're going to go down the list one at a time and talk a little bit about each one. It says if you leave this page, all the things that you've added to it will be undone. I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm not going to save any of the options that we just messed around with because, hey guys, and you'll see right here, it gives you a preview of the original, like what it looked like on the left, and then a preview of the stuff that you're fixing over here on the right and how it's going to look when it's done. Now, it's not a preview of the same screen, so it doesn't just take like half of your screen and then duplicate that second half over here. It's actually the entire screen, so you're not seeing duplicate. You can't really compare the two together, which I kind of find kind of annoying. Like, I really wish they would just give me two screens, one up here on the top and then another one here on the bottom, so I can watch both at the same time. Although this does give you the ability to drag the line over so that you can see more of the original and then come over with the preview and see it in real time, like what it's going to look like over that box. But if you just gave me two boxes, one with the original and one with a preview of the both images, I could see them both live without dragging them back and forth. So I'm not really a big fan of this setup, but it does work. It's there for you if you want to use it. Some of the things it will do, if you do quick fix, it will auto figure out what it needs to do. Some of the videos that you record on camera might need stabilization, so I think it like crops off like a half an inch or something on the top and kind of stabilizes it a little bit better for you. It's weird because with games that you're recording the actual game, it's not shaky because you're not moving the camera, you're just recording the game. It will still come back with, oh, it needs to be stabilized. Do you want me to do that for you? And I'm like, no. I mean, that's part of the game. It's obviously not, weird, and it's something that you should be seeing because it is, the level. As far as like fill in light and saturation, you guys will know what those are. You can see when you lower those or raise those, what it does right there. So you can see right there, made it more black and white, and it will go ahead and start the video every time. Hey guys, so you can kind of play around with it, get the saturation, do some funky things.
Welcome back to another
really
episode.
really bright, nice vibrant color on that end. You can change the game so it looks, dramatically different from what it's supposed to look like. Or, that's a little bit more darkish color, but that is what the game looks like. You can change the color temperature. All these will, of course, affect each other. So if I got rid of the saturation, put it back down, it's going to look vastly different from what it does in a second right there. So, yeah, it's just, I don't know. I never really get into using any of these things, but it's there for you. You can do time-lapse, slow things down with slow motion. You can trim the edges. You can turn it so it rotates on its side. And tonight, have a weird picture like that. I mean, just tons and tons of things you can do. Filters, you can bring it through different filters so that it looks differently on the picture. Burning effects, blur faces. I like this one. It is possible that certain objects or frames won't be blurred. Okay, so I like this one. So if you're going to be recording outside, you can blur people's faces out so that you won't have to worry about getting everybody's permission depending on like the state you live in and what the rules are and all that other stuff. This one will do it for you, which is really, really cool. You can also go over here into audio and say, yeah, leave page, because I'm not saving any of that stuff for the video. You can come in here for audio, and you can add a track to it. You can add some music. See if it will add to it. And there you go. So you got some music in the background. In this situation, it's taking up the entire, voice, and you don't hear any of my stuff. So you might want to add this beforehand. You can do that by going into the video editor down here and create and adding the soundtrack to it. And I think you can even control the sound and how loud it is and things of that sort. So you may not want to do it through here, but there's tons and tons of songs in here that you're capable of using. If it will let me click on the little thing here. Nope, it does not want to let me click on the... Yeah, but there's a whole list of songs in there. You can do the top tracks. You can search by, you know, different subjects. If you're looking for something like ambient in the background, you can go with something like this. You know, and all this music is music that they supply to you for free, or there are certain... See, these are all ad-free and eligible for monetization. There are other ones that you can get that require you to put like who made it, and that's all they want is in the description, is just give them credit for who made it, and then you can use it and monetize it all you want. You'll find more about that when you click into the create and you go into the options a little bit more deeper. Annotations, yeah, we're going to leave that. Annotations are something you should get accustomed to using. They're actually pretty cool. Now, if you watch other YouTubers, and you'll see that sometimes in the video it pops up with a little box here, and it says, oh, and I forgot to mention that you really should have done this instead of that, or I was mistaken on this part, what you really should have been doing is this, or hey, forgive me guys, I get lost here for about 5 minutes and I look like an idiot, but it actually ends up being kind of funny. Go ahead and click past it to 4 minutes and 42 seconds if you want to skip it anyways. That's what this part is for right here. So you can come in here and you can do annotations. You get to pick, what do you want to do? Speech bubble, a note, a title, a spotlight, a label. These all work differently, slightly in ways that you kind of want to play around with each one and see how they look and how they work. Some of these will just be a little speech bubble. It will pop up and it looks like a little speech bubble. It shows up for a few seconds and then goes away. Notes, sometimes you can click on and it will link you over to certain areas. So if you want to do like a tutorial video where you're saying, and I've already covered this subject in more detail, but if you want to hear about that, you know, specific program, click this little button here. You can do that. You can also do labels and spotlights and titles and things of that sort. So we're just going to go with an easy one like notes. Now notes, you're going to want to come down here and you're going to want to figure out first where you want this note to be. Now it's right there where you were playing the video is where it's going to show up when you first click that button. So if you want to play the video, find out where you need to put that, and then stop it, pause it, and then come in here and create a note. Now it's going to be right there. So you can see that it's right there for us. Or if you want to move this, you can drag it down here on the bottom wherever you want to put it, and you'll see it disappears up here because we're not to that point yet on the video. So I can drag it back over here. It will pop back up here on the screen, and then I need to figure out where I want to put this. Again, this will depend on what's on your screen. If you got a lot of stuff on the corners, you may decide to move it over here to this corner because there's nothing there at that moment, but there will be later on. Of course, this will disappear whenever you set it to disappear. You'll see right here it has a red line, and then on this side it has a red line. Now you can drag these apart, and this box will stay up on the screen for this duration, 30 minutes, unless, of course, you come in here and say, you know, you click the little X at the top of the screen at the viewers watching it and gets rid of it themselves. It will just stay up for that amount of time if nothing happens. But again, you usually don't want to do that. You usually want to do pretty short on that one. You can also come in here and change it at the end. Set it to be, oh, it's going to come in at 0.8 seconds into the video, and I want it to last till blah 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 in the video. Again, when you change it here, it should change it over there. You see the numbers change, and if I move it over, you know, the start changes as well. Your note here on the top, whatever you want the video to, whatever you want the little box to say. So if I come in here and type blah 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 gibberish, there you go. You can see it like shining right there on the screen, and then you can do custom, you can do normal, impact. For the options there, you can do size, you can change it so it's bigger, you can change the color. So if you're playing on a certain game and white really isn't the good one for you in that spot, you can do the black. You can fill in the color for different stuff, go with like yellow for the backdrop, you know, make it pop a little bit more, make it stand out from something else if that's what you want. It has those options, and then you can give it a link if you want people to be able to click on it. If you're going to say, go check out my webpage or go check out this video, what are you going to link it to? You're going to link it to a video, a playlist, a channel, a Google profile page, a subscribe button, crowdfunding project, merchandise. You know, you can make it link to any one of those, but just find out what it is that you're going to link it to, like a video, and then paste the link here. And the link was what I was showing you guys earlier on the first page. Let's go back over there to info and settings. Right here, this is the link. So this is what you would copy and then come over here into annotations, and this is what you would put, hey guys, and in the annotation right here you would put the link down there, which I can do right here. Oh, that's not the right thing. That's Gamepedia. We'll cut that out. But then, of course, you can always say, do you want that to open in a new window? Because the default is, if I click that little link, it's going to take me on the same tab to that. So it's going to stop the video. And you may not want that to happen if that's how they have it set up. In mine, I have it set up where when I click on something, it opens up a new tab anyway. So I don't really need this option, but it helps for those people who don't have it. So I would highly suggest you have that on there. Let's see. How do I delete this? I think you just backspace it, right? Or just garbage it. There we go. So that's gone because I don't want that on there. And it will stay on there. You don't even have to save it. It just saves it for you. You can also come over here into cards if it will load it up for us. There we go. And you can add a card to your video. Cards are not something that I've really gotten into using that much, but it shows up here on the side. It will pop out when you put your cursor over it, and it will show you, oh, okay, you can put video playlist, channel promotion, fan funding, or links to other websites. It's kind of nice. It does look far more professional than the annotations, and it's always there. It's always over here on the right-hand side, but it shrinks when you're not doing anything with it. So these are highly useful. I hear really, really good things about them. If I wasn't so lazy, I would actually do more with them. So I would suggest you guys looking into that. At least putting your channel to promote that, or video playlist of other videos or other playlists that you want your same viewers to know about. People who watch your Diablo 3 play may not know about your EverQuest playthrough. People who watch your EverQuest may not know about your TerraTech. So this is a good way to let them know why they're watching it. Subtitles, again, pretty self-explanatory. You can set the language to whatever you want, English by default, so we'll cancel all that. But you can add new subtitles. Yeah, see, it wouldn't even let me go into it because I canceled it. But all that stuff is in there that you can mess around with. It's fairly self-explanatory once you start experimenting with all of that. Again, this is just for videos. If you go under playlist, you'll see all the different playlists that you have set up here. And then you can come in here and edit them. So once you create a playlist, and I would highly suggest that every series you do, you throw into a playlist. Every series that I've ever done, I've thrown into a playlist. As you guys can see, I have tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of them. Holy crap. I had no idea I had so many playlists. But yeah, they're all in here. And once you create one, you can go in and change the settings. You'll see this one doesn't have pictures, and this one does. And you're like, why is that? Well, until you add videos into it, and it finds the video that it likes, usually about 4 videos into it, you'll see that it does this right here where it has 4 different pictures in there. This one has 5 different pictures in there to give people an idea of the videos that are in there. This one only has 3 videos and it doesn't have a picture. This one only has 1 and it has a picture. It does it for you automatically. There's no way you can go in there and set that. So it really just comes down to YouTube being YouTube, and sometimes they are just kind of weird. Like this one only has 1 and it has 3 videos, but it only has 1 as a picture. So it's just it's kind of quirky sometimes, which, you know, unfortunately something you're going to have to deal with. But let's come in here to say a episode or series that I have quite a few on, like EverQuest 2 walkthrough. Yeah, we go through this one. This one has 72 videos in it. And you'll see right here, it says it's found 1 duplicate and remove the video. I don't know how to look at that in here in a second. But yeah, you'll see here that you can put a short description up here at the top, which you can click on. You can change this up, delete playlist, add to playlist. You can just click in here and you can change the title to whatever you want it to be. You can also come down here. Oh, that was the wrong button. Let's go back before it takes us there. There we go. You can add a short description, which I never did on this video apparently. You definitely should add a short description. Say this is the playlist for Quest Walkthrough for Tomorrow's Deep. Kind of embarrassing that I don't have one in there. That sucks. But once you do, you'll see that down here on the bottom is the actual playlist, and this is going to be how they watch them. And you can change the settings. You can make it where it starts with the most recent video and then goes down the list, or you can have it where it starts with the oldest video and goes down the list. I do the oldest video first because when somebody clicks on this one to watch it, when they're done, because it's a playlist, it will take them to the next one on the list. If this was the very first video that I had just recently done, the brand new one, let's say like episode 197, and they click on this one, when they're done watching it, will take them to 196, and then 195, and so on and so on and down the list, and they'd be watching it in reverse, which doesn't make any sense to me. So if somebody comes into my playlist, they can click the first one, watch the very first episode. If they've already seen a lot of the episodes, they can scroll down, or they can run all the way down to the very bottom of the list and start at the last episode if that's where they want to start. But I like to have it in order, and so make it as easy as possible to binge watch it if they really want to. And you'll see over here on the side, it tells you how long the videos are. These are under 9 minutes. You know, they're not because I had to at the time. It just, see, there's one over 10 minutes. Just because the videos in their nature are quest related. They do one quest at a time and move on to the next. They didn't take longer than 10 minutes. So again, you can find games like that when you first start off to do that. Most of the videos here are under 10 minutes, and the ones that are like slightly over 10 minutes, probably because I took my time and I bloviated quite a bit, because I tend to do that when I do my videos, which you guys tend to enjoy apparently. But yeah, that's you know, you do want to create a playlist, make sure that they're all in there. And again, one of the biggest pieces is make sure that you label them as part 2, part 3, part 4. I didn't do that on this one because they are quest walkthrough and they're not continuations. So it starts with level 1 quest, then goes to level 2 quest, level 3 quest, and goes down the list like that. Of course, they are labeled like that so that you can see, okay, I want to do all the level 2 quests. Where are they? Oh, well, there's a level 2 quest, there's a level 2 quest up here, level 3 quest, things of that sort. Very, very easy for people to find stuff just at a glance, which is what you really, really want when you do these videos. As far as things you need to set up when you first set up your channel, remember, now that you've got a video up, it's going to take a while before you become a member or a partner, but it will happen eventually. They'll send you a notification. But you also want to set some other things up. You want to set up your About page. About page is a little description of you. What kind of channel are you going to be? You need to figure that out, guys. You need to figure out that, I am going to be a retro gamer. I'm going to be a first-person shooter gamer. I'm going to be, and you don't necessarily have to tie yourself down to just one, but you do want to let people know who you're going to be, because if they like your footage, they may want to just know, just keep in the back of their mind that you tend to prefer first-person shooters, RTSs, and RPGs with a mix of, you know, that old-style retro game. Just so they know that that's probably what you're going to be favoring in the future. And if they like that, well, heck yeah, man, I just found my YouTuber right there, right? That's the guy I'm going to be watching. Or if you're more into, say, you know, brand new games, and you put it on on the list that you like doing that. Now, there are YouTubers out there that do everything. They do brand new games, they do old games. They just put on there that they like playing games, you know, and that's what you can do. You can list the games that you do like to put on there. But if you yourself know that there are certain types of games out there that you do not like, and there's certain types of games out there that you do like, then you should have it where, you know, you have that in the description, just giving people a heads up. And I must have just got a message from somebody. But yeah, it's pretty cool to kind of write that about yourself and try to be as succinct and as descriptive as possible. I mean, those really don't go together, succinct and descriptive, but you do have to kind of mesh those two together, because you do want to give people a overview of who you are, but at the same time not go too much into it. You know, like, you don't want to have like that as like a 15-page article. It's not something you need to do. You're also going to have links down here. You want to set it up to links for like Twitter and Twitch and Facebook and Google, as many of them as you want. I've seen tons and tons of links down here for other people. I don't really use any of these, to be honest. I have a link to Twitter, which I do use. Twitch, I haven't never really gotten into yet, so maybe someday I will. But now that YouTube can do streaming, probably not. Facebook, I think I logged into that like once in the last year, so yeah, that's not a thing for me, but it's there if you guys want to check it out. And then the Google Plus is just part of YouTube now, that I can get to it anytime I want, so yeah, I go to that all the time, but not too big of a deal. And I think what we're going to go ahead and do, guys, is in the episode here. And the next episodes, I think what we're going to go ahead and talk about is joining networks. Networks is a tricky thing to do. And I will give you guys my little bit of knowledge with it, things that I ran into with that, and things to be aware of, and try to avoid as much as possible with networks. Again, guys, I want to